Hello, everyone. I often hear citizens say that, oh, what else is there for Nigerians to do? Nigerians have done so much. We've protested, we've been on the streets, we've been this, we've done that. And when I hear this, I usually laugh and I said, Nigerians haven't really done much. Please hear me out. Don't be in a hurry. Just hear where I'm coming from. Yes, it's true that Nigerians have protested. Yes, it's true that Nigerians have demanded. Yes, it's true that Nigerians have spoken out. They've been on the streets. They've done a lot of things. Nigerians have come out and they've participated in the election. And most likely, people will tell you, look at 2023. What then happened? It was rigged. So what else do you want to do? This is the thing that I want every one of us to understand, is that we don't stay long enough. Yes, we start, we start it, one thing happen, and then we give up, we go away. That is it. That is exactly it. We fail to pass the perseverance test. There's something that I call the perseverance test, and I started saying this in relation to businesses. I'm a businesswoman, by the way. I'm a trader. I've traded all my life as a child with my parents, opened shop for them. When I finished secondary school, they actually opened a shop for me. Before that time, I was supposed to get into university. When I was less than 10, I would go on Saturdays to be the one to open the shop. My mom used to sell, my parents sold ice creams and all of that. I would make the ice cream, mix it, put in the machine. My parents will now come later in the day. So they had got to rest a bit, and then later in the afternoon, they will come and meet me. And before they come, I've made some sales. So I've been trading for over 40 years. But for my own, I started my own trading when I was in the year 2000. So do the math. I was born 1973. And so I started my own business. And over time, I realized that there's always a perseverance test that you need to pass for you to be able to achieve the things that you want to achieve. And usually, it's that person who stays on and refuses to give up. And not that there wouldn't be a lot of bad things happening, a lot of adversities going on. There are a lot of them, but the people who are able to stay on in spite of those adversities are usually the ones who end up winning. And so I call it perseverance. And I say to people, sometimes God really wants to know whether you want this thing bad enough to stay on and fight for it. So I think, coming to the context of Nigeria, one of the things that we have not been able to do is to pass that perseverance test, stay on and not give up. Look at NSAS, for example. When it started, and then, unfortunately, people were killed at Lekki toll gate. What happened? The protest stopped. So it didn't continue. So when they use force and they bring in force, something happens, people give up. Look at the 2023 election. People are on the verge of giving up, and that's why I'm doing this video, because I don't want you to give up. We won so much in the 2023 election. Yes, we might not have gotten the big win that we are looking for. It was snatched right under our noses, but then there were a lot of little wins that we need to take and use that to continue to persevere and look for more ways to ensure that what we get at the end of the day is way more than what we thought we would ever get, if that is making sense. And I hope I'm making sense in one way or the other. So the thing that we always do is that we start something, we start something here, but we never carry it to the end. So almost as if we are on that verge where we literally could be getting the reward, where we could be getting what it is, that the good yield of what it is that we've been working for, and then we give up, and then we don't continue. And so we've had series and repeated amounts of that. And so most times people are thinking, what is there to do? We did this, we did. Yes, we did it, we started it, but we didn't finish it. We stopped before we got to the finish line. And that's what we need to do now. So please, when you're thinking Nigeria has done it, no, we haven't. We've always stopped when things became tough. You know what they say about that? When things become tough, the tough ones keep going. Unfortunately, we've never reached that place where the tough ones are going on. We have always been at that place where before you know what's happening, we've given up. Before you know what's happening, we're going back and saying that there is nothing that we can do. There is a whole lot that we can do. And we're the people in every nation that things have war. It is the people who said enough, it's enough. I just found that, when we talk about China and the whole amazing revolution in terms of agric and all of that happened, that it took some farmers in a village to revolt against the system. And when they were revolting, they knew that they could be caught, that they could be killed, and they came to an agreement that if any one of them, the heads who are doing this, are killed, that the families will be taken care of by the others. And what am I talking about? It was agric. China was doing their communism, and in terms of agric, so it's this thing about the whole. It was held by the whole commune. Everybody, the whole town will own the field, and then everybody will come and do their work on it and all of that. Because it's owned by everybody, not many people were not putting in their all. Because what's the essence of putting in more when you're not going to get more? It's going to be shared around equally. And so it affected a lot of, the output that people were getting. There were a lot of starvation in China. Certain places that didn't have food. There was no incentive for you to carry food from one place to another. Lands, there were no private holdings on lands and a whole lot of things. So these families, about 11, 18 of them, decided to come together and say, look, no, we are going to ensure that let's share the lands to ourselves. And they shared it to to the different families and say, every family, you own this, and whatever you planted, you were going to get it whole. Guess what? That was the incentive that people needed. And in that particular village, they did it. And their output became so much more. It became so much more that the other villages, neighboring villages heard about it, and they started copying that, and there was an increase. And at the end of the day, the government saw that there was this massive increase that was happening, and what it now led to was the government now, having this reform that we saw, this whole agrarian reform that happened in China. Why am I sharing this story? It's to let us know that rules that are not beneficial to the nation, you understand, people can stand against them. Laws that are made that are holding the nation back, people can stand against them. I remember when the national anthem was changed without even consultation with the people. Nigerians were just ready to accept it. And for my own case, I said, no, I can't accept that. How do we wake up? We're supposed to be citizens. We're supposed to be the bosses. So the office of the citizen is the highest office in the land. And there's some people that are given as representatives of the citizen, decide to do something without even as mere as consulting the people. Beyond that also is a precedent that it sets. Now they can go in and change any law that they want to in just a few moments, and that's it. And beyond that, this is something that was done by Nigerians. You've changed it and put it out. For me, that wasn't even the major thing, because if Nigerians had accepted that, they consulted Nigerians and Nigerians say that this is the anthem they want, that's it. It's whatever the majority chooses. That's what democracy is about. It doesn't have to be what you want, it's what the majority wants. But the majority weren't consulted, and people are not looking at the precedent that is set. Now we're seeing a lot of more rules being changed just like that. We've seen, for example, the police act, being adjusted to the extent that the IG of police now have is staying here. It's over 60. He's still in office, because of course the National Assembly can do one thing or the other. But let's all remember that, look, if we want a country that works, we need to put in all. So when you think that you've done so much, that we've done so much, please remember we've not done enough to get that great country that we're looking for. And that's what we should focus on. Jim Ross said that if what you did yesterday is still looking big enough to you, that means you're not doing enough. And I must tell us, fellow Nigerians, we really aren't doing enough. There is so much that we can do, and let us begin to do it now. It needs a whole lot of energy to be put in. It needs a whole lot of long hours. It can be frustrating, but at the end of the day, it can also be rewarding when you see the things that are changing. When we started the red card movement, many people laughed at us. Many people, insulted us, or we were denigrated. We were looked upon as mad people. But guess what? That red card movement in 2022, red card movement in 2018 will lead to 2022 now, where we're seeing people, even the people giving that red card and saying, oh, there can't be an alternative party. And we did see an alternative candidate that is not from the major parties. So let's bear on that. Let's continue to work on that to get the Nigeria that we are looking for. Let's not be the ones to easily give up or say that, oh, we've done so much. Like I always want to remind us, those who are destroying Nigerians are not giving up. Why should those who want Nigerians to work give up?